welcome to All Things Octavia. I am Octavia, and once again, thank you so much for joining me. If you are new to this channel, then welcome. I think that's gonna
the right thing.
I think that's gonna be my new thing from now on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just know that I am a life-giving spirit, and my content is based on stirring up some faith, giving you hope and some encouragement. But today I have my favorite guest.
I'm back.
Guys, I went to a radio on Women's Day, and they were playing that thing. I loved that thing.
Amazing.
It was amazing. My husband, Sidiso Letlajani, my favorite person. And today we're going to be talking about... What are we talking about?
Forgiveness and
protection. So we're going to talk about what makes our...
What a difficult topic.
We're going to talk about what makes our marriage work. If you don't know, we have been together for 10 years and we will be married for 8. We'll be married 8 years this year.
Right.
Oh my god, I love that sound. I heard it in Radio Blow. Anyway, we're going to be talking about what makes our marriage work. There's a lot of things, I think, that make people's marriages work and that make people's marriages not to work. Actually, you love saying that we must actually take care of even the little things, because you don't know. You know, people get divorced not with the same reasons, so you always have to take care of the small details, because you really don't know what would make you or your partner just get tipped off and just say, I don't want this. So we're going to talk about our main 3 things that make our marriage work. And we're not marriage counselors, disclaimer. We're just 2 people that have been walking this journey and just want to share it with you.
We're still traveling it as well.
We're still traveling it as well. Take it, don't take it. Well, use what works for you, but this is what works for us. And number 1,
Trust.
Okay, trust.
Ooh. Dangerous zone.
It took us time. It took us time. I think I'm going to talk about trust from a point of living with a person every day. Guys, living with a person every day is not easy. My husband and I, we never stayed together before we got married. And I'm going to talk about trust in a way of knowing that your person has got your back, you know. And that's what he has shown me. I mean, we learned it over time. I don't know about him, but with me, days are not the same, weeks are not the same, and one day you'll just wake up and you'll just be moody, and there's never a point where my husband and I, fortunately, are in the same bad mood at the same time.
Isn't it fun?
Never. I've never experienced us being in a bad mood at the same time. So when I'm in a bad mood, or when I'm going through my things, or when he's in a bad mood and going through his things, we carry one another. That's the trust that I'm talking about. So I will wake up, or I will have a bad day from work or from wherever I am, and he will just leave me, give me my space, and carry me up, bring me up to his mood, and I would do the same for him. It is something that we learned over time. It is something that God has blessed us with, and I think we know we have each other's backs, because I never let myself go down when he's down, and he never lets himself go down when I'm down.
But when we high, we both high.
Yeah, when we high,
can't
we
deprive
both
ourselves
high.
of that.
When we high, we both high. So that's it.
Yeah, no, I think, you know, the reason why I'm saying it's a very dangerous topic or a very sensitive subject, it's because it has to, somehow you have to allow yourself to move from trusting a person as an emotion, but trusting a person as a decision. Because if you're taking it as an emotion, when the fluctuations come, they're gonna get you.
And they
But let me speak. So now, when the fluctuations come, they're gonna come like the tide of the river, and they're gonna sweep you over if you're not ready. But it's all about making it a decision instead of it being a feeling, because the feeling is a bit flaky. But then the tricky part about it as well is you have to stand in between. It's more like a seesaw. It has to be a feeling and a decision at the same time. Because you have to enjoy it. And how else do you enjoy something if you're not feeling good about it? So you have to allow the trust to be there. But over and above, I think it's more of it takes a bit of a weight of another person if you know that you are trusted.
Yes. And if you
There's
know
not
that
much
you're not
to
gonna
prove.
fall, like if you know that you're not gonna fall, no matter what, this person will. It's like you're blind and then you're just going, like on your back, but you know that definitely, there's somebody there that's going to catch me.
100%.
I think that's the kind of trust that we're talking about. And then, you look beautiful.
Forgive me.
I look so yellow.
Always beautiful in my eyes.
Thank you. You look handsome yourself. And the second one, forgiveness. You guys.
You see where we're going today?
Forgiveness. It took us years. I don't want to lie. It took us years to get to a point of having forgiveness on our top 3 things that make us work, because it has really been a journey of turmoils, if that's the word that I may use. I think we had to get to a point of understanding each other's pain to actually make it easy for ourselves to be able to get to a place of being able to forgive one another. I feel it took me time to understand things that really pains you. And because sometimes we do things to each other, we do things to one another as partners, but we don't really apologize or ask forgiveness for them, because we don't think that they could really hurt that person that much.
You'd be surprised. Some people do it intentionally.
Okay, yes. And I think maybe sometimes
there's a stage that we have to be.
I think there was a point.
Because I've been knowing that button is going to actually send it off, then I'll be like...
I think there was a point in our lives where sometimes we would literally just do it intentionally, because you've hurt me, so I'm going to hurt you back. And we have outgrown that, and thank God that we have, because it is really such a stressful thing and such a heavy thing to not forgive the other person, and you have to wear this baggage and stay with this person every day and live with them every day, but not being able to forgive them, or let alone say I'm sorry. So I think forgiveness for us, it is something that we've learned over time, something that we're still perfecting.
You can't get it right.
Something
100%.
that we're still perfecting, but I think because we have now, we've come to a place where we know what our pains are. We tread carefully. We're now in a place where we tread carefully because we know our pains. Roughly.
The funny thing is, it's not even treading carefully. The moment where you know that I've forgiven this person, mistakes automatically die. Okay. So you're no longer treading carefully. You think you're treading carefully. You're treading carefully because you no longer are grieving the other person. Little do you know that by giving yourself to forgiveness, mistakes automatically vanish.
Yeah, and when you say that, actually, I think you also the other party also stop looking for mistakes, because I think that's another thing. If we've hurt each other so many times or so much, you always looking for that
what's
one
the next
thing,
one?
and you're always ready to protect yourself. That
to a point where I'm actually even getting to think that, does it really do mistakes really exist, or do they get formed by expectations sometimes that are unreasonable? Because there's a lot, but for the sake of, we'll cover this some other time, for the sake of just emphasizing the point, this is what I can say about forgiveness. Every mistake that you're making, or every action that might be hurting another person, it moves you closer to forgiveness. I'd even say, I'd advocate for this, but it's a very dangerous thing to say. Make as many mistakes as possible and as quickly as you can.
As quickly as you can.
So that you can get finished up with this thing, because you never get it 100%, but
Yes.
you just more, it's more like a seesaw, it's more like a moon, it's more like the water. You have to play around with it. But if you can handle, because sometimes it has to be on the other side, sometimes to be on the other side.
Yeah.
So make as many as you can, but you need to understand, disclaimer. She said it earlier on, if there's anything that you need to do, don't listen to what we say.
Yeah. Do what works. Do what works for you. Do what works for you. But
Protection.
this is what works for
All
us.
that.
And the third one, protection. Protection. This has been our top 3 because it is something that we have learned to do very well. Also, it took us time to get there. When you are new in marriage, when you get married, you get advices. There's friends, there's family, and every time something happens, you run to friends and family and say,
You'll pay for that.
My husband did this.
If you're not
I
already.
don't want this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And we have come to we came to a place of even saying to ourselves, you know what, babes, we have to start protecting ourselves, because when we're mad, we go to our separate ways, we tell people, and now when we are happy with each other,
We don't go back.
they're still there, and we
Poor people are still hung up.
they're still there, and we have come back, and we're now in love. We have forgotten about
We
the
are
drama.
fair.
We had forgotten about the drama that we made everyone go through, and then we realized that it's not fair on people that love us. It's not fair on people that are supporting us, and we made a principled decision of protecting ourselves. Protecting each other. My husband knows when he's not with me, when he is away, he is protected. I will not in any way talk badly about him. There is some instances where
It oozes out. It's a force of habit.
Father.
It's a force of
like,
habit.
oh, father, but truly there will be those things that I will not share with anybody, because I know that it's probably a temporary thing. I'm going to get over it. My husband is going to get over it. And I need to protect him at all costs. When people would say certain things about him, I will stand in the middle and protect him. And then I will come into the house and say, hey, but I heard when I'm with you, you're busy doing one.
It's one-on-one.
One-on-one. But I will never get or hear something from somebody and I'm going to jump and say, what? I will protect my husband, and I will come to my husband and say, baby, 1, 2, 3 is happening. What is happening? 1, 2, 3 is going on. What is happening? So that's what I'm talking about, protecting ourselves. Also, we graduated gradually into it. It's not something that just happened. It took time. Like I said in the beginning, we first used to run over to people and tell them what's happening, and they will give us advices, and I will come back with what my mother said, and he will come back with what his father said, and it will be egg and J. But it didn't work for us. It didn't work for people that were supporting us. So we started learning to protect each other.
That thing, it's so unfair and not only dangerous. I mean, because when I said it earlier on, that if it's something that you are doing unawarely, I'm sure you're paying for it, or you yet to pay for it, because it's an inexcusable action. You can't just do that. It's not only unfair to you, but it's unfair to the people that you're pulling into then obviously toxic kind of type of environment, because once you're now happy lovey-dovey, you're not inviting them anymore, and it's so unfair. But I just want to chip in on this one. Mistakes, Banabesu, we're gonna make them. As she was saying, some days, she just wants to vent about me to somebody, but not necessarily intentionally, just a force of habit. It's what we used to. You can't just all of a sudden jump from it. And besides, let's just be sensible here. How do you know that somebody has forgiven you? You know it because you've committed a mistake. So without committing a mistake, forgiveness will not exist. So you see what's happening. So now,
So
you know,
encouraging us to make mistakes.
no, not really. I'm encouraging you to be. I mean, like, just be. I mean, do whatever that you want to do. Whatever blows your hair back. Go for it.
Protection also goes hand in hand with respect, because when you protect your man or when you protect your woman, it's because you respect them. You respect them. Mm-hmm. My girls know that, hey, when it comes to happy guys, there's certain things. And how do I know that my friends respect my husband? There's certain things that I will talk about, and they will still respect him when they meet him. They will still see him as my man, as my protector, as my provider, as my guider, as my leader. So protection goes hand in hand with respect. So that is one of the things that works for
it does
us.
And I'll tell you, for me, the time when I realized that this thing is very critical, it's when I told myself, I'm not quite sure remember where I was, but then I took a principled decision to say, if I can't oversell my wife, I'm not going to say anything. That's it.
You don't understand me.
If I'm not overselling you, I'm not talking about you. Every time when I'm talking about you, everybody knows that I'll be putting a ridiculous price on this woman. By the way, anyway, she doesn't have a price.
With her bed laughter.
With everything. And Fatsoma alles well.
So yeah, that's a wrap. That's all about us, about what makes our marriage work. I hope you find what works for your marriage, and never forget to put God in your marriage. He is everything. He's the beginning, He's the end, He's the middle, He's yonkinto. So never forget to put God in your marriage and do what works for you. This was just our top 3. There's really a lot of things that make our marriage
Disclaimer,
work.
This is not an advice. It's a personal journey nuggets that we're sharing with you.
So yeah, that's it from us. I love you. God loves you. We love you. And I hope you'll come back again.
Hopefully.
He came back for the second time, so hopefully he will come back again for the third time. Ciao.